8, 7, and 8. Yeah, that's 23, right? Yeah. 15 for 23 from those guys. So be fine.
Tim on the right.
Draymond, you've mentioned a couple times now that, it's you played pretty good. You've not been down in a series, though, in these playoffs. Is it a little hit to the confidence? Is it a little bit like, wait a minute, this is a little different here?
No, it's fun. You get a chance to do something else, do it in a different way, embrace the challenge. And, we've always embraced challenges. It's no different. We'll embrace this one. So, no, it's not a hit to the confidence at all. Not one bit.
Question in the middle.
Robert Littell, BSO. Being your sixth finals, and this is a game one, speaking of that confidence, is that what kind of leads it to, you being very relaxed? It's a long series. You're not too worried about that. And then your shooting, is that just something like you figure it's just a fluke game and won't happen again going forward?
Said that about plus
whether
10
you
on Boston's way.
win every game at home, you still want to win one on the road. In our history, we've always won one on the road. So, it's just nothing to panic about. It's the first team to win 4 games, not the first to win one. So I think that's where the confidence comes from, is just understanding that. And as far as the shooting, are you talking about me personally or us as a team? Oh, yeah. I missed some bunnies. My threes felt good. So, I'll continue to stay aggressive. They'll fall. But, tonight they didn't.
On the left.
CJ Holmes, San Francisco Chronicle. What kind of lift did having Otto and Andre back on the court provide?
It was huge. And they both gave us great minutes. And now it's on me to play better. But, to have those guys back, Otto played really well. He shot the ball really well. Andre played well also in the minutes that he had. So they did their part. I just have to do mine.
Monty on the left.
In the fourth quarter, they looked to have more energy. How much of that was just making shots, and how much of that was the early turnovers that they got from you guys?
Yeah, I think when you're making shots, that's a boost, and when you're missing shots, it's a Debbie Downer, and that's kind of what it was. They made them, we missed them, and sometimes you can allow missed shots to drag your defense down. I think a little bit of that happened in the fourth quarter as well. So, yeah, you got to give them credit. They made the shots when they needed to make them.
Sports. Does a game like this speak to maybe the margin of error that you guys don't have compared to the last 2 series that you were in?
I don't think in any NBA Finals you're going to have a margin of error, and that's what this team has to understand. When you get to this point in the season, this level, there is no margin for error. It's 2 great teams, and the team that makes the less mistakes are going to win the game, and they did that. So, yeah, they had 21 points off our 14 turnovers. We had 10 off their 13. So, yeah, there is no margin of error for either team. Nah, I didn't see a lack of focus. You don't get up 15 points with a lack of focus. So they're a great team. They made a run, and we didn't stop the bleeding soon enough. They kept hitting shots.
Final question from Al in the back.
Al Sarasovic, San Francisco Examiner. A lot was made out of the Celtics defense coming into the series. Draymond, as a defensive specialist expert, what was your take on how they played on that side of the ball, and what kind of problems did they present for the Warriors?
They got a good defense. We knew that coming in. There was no surprises. We know what they want to get to on the defensive side and how they like to play. They know what we're trying to get to. So, yeah, no surprises. They are who we thought they were. And, now we'll watch the clips, watch the film, and figure out what we need to do to attack it.
Thank you.
Getting, a combined 11 from Horford and White. Those guys, give them credit. They knocked down every big shot in the fourth quarter. Boston was just played a brilliant quarter, and they came in and earned the win.
Logan on the right.
Hey, Steve, you played Andre obviously today, big minutes. And what did you think of his performance out there? And what does he bring to your team that you didn't have?
Well, we played him 12 minutes, so I wouldn't call that big minutes. But Andre was great. He's got finals experience. He gets us settled down. He's a great defender. So I thought Andre did a really good job out there.
Tim up front.
Yeah, they jump out to the 7-0 third quarter start without Steph. You get Steph back in, you're still up, and it almost went even faster. Did you sense a loss of composure, loss of focus? What do you think happened just in those moments?
I thought we had a couple turnovers, a couple bad possessions offensively, and they just pounced. They took advantage of every opportunity. They moved the ball well, and like I said, you make 5-6 threes in a row in the fourth quarter. Then that's tough to overcome. So, we'll watch the tape and learn from it and see what we can do better. My gut reaction, just what I just witnessed, was they just came in, played a hell of a fourth quarter, and you got to give them credit. And it's pretty much as simple as that.
Anthony on the left.
Yeah, how challenging did you find it at times offensively to score against them? And I know going in, you knew how good they were defensively, but what just specifically made it tough tonight?
Well, they've got good size and athleticism, at every position pretty much. So they put a lot of pressure on you, but I thought we had some really good moments. We had 38 in the third quarter. We had a good run there. It was mainly the fourth quarter that got us. So we feel confident with our ability to score against them. But like I said, you give up 40 in the fourth and the other team makes 21 threes. It's going to be tough to win.
Question in the middle here.
Hey, Steve, I want to ask you about the shot disparaging, the shot spread out among the team. Specifically, Jordan Poole only had 7 shots. Do you think you need to do more to get him some open looks, or do you think it's upon him to just be more aggressive?
Yeah, we'll watch the tape and we'll see, what we need to do. I thought Boston did a good job on Jordan, put a lot of pressure on him, and there's probably some things that we can do to help free him up. And then, he's a hell of a player, so he'll bounce back and play better too.
Up front.
Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports, right here, Steve. You held Tatum largely in check. I think it was 3 of 17. Was that basically the game plan going in, that you're going to concede Derek White, Al Horford taking those shots, and they just happen to hit them tonight?
Well, you never go in conceding shots. You kind of have a scouting report on each player. You know who you're going to close out hot to, who you're going to close out short to, all that stuff. It felt to me like we didn't close out very well in the first half, and that allowed them to get going a little bit. But again, got to watch the tape and see where the breakdowns occurred.
Barry in the middle.
Hey, Steve. Barry Bloom from Sportico. It's not just your team, but why do you think that there's been such wild disparities of play, not only from game to game in these playoffs, but from quarter to quarter?
I think the three-point shot has a lot to do with that. I mean, you saw, I don't know how many they made in the fourth. Somebody in here probably knows they make 7 or 8 threes in the fourth quarter. 9. So, that's, I think it has everything to do with the three-point shot. It's, you didn't see these kind of swings even a decade ago because you didn't have teams that could make threes from every position, and, teams that, could string together a number of threes like most teams can these days. So I think that's probably the answer.
Question on the left.
Steve, I'm Young with ESPN. We were talking pregame about how you guys aren't in this position very often, losing game one. How would you describe what the team is feeling right now?
Well, obviously, everybody's down. You want to go out and win the first one, and we had every opportunity. 12-point lead going into the fourth. So, guys are bummed, as you would expect. But it's a 7-game series for a reason. I think, you give Boston credit. They came in there and earned the win, played a great fourth quarter. we'll come in, watch the film tomorrow, and see where we can get better. And it's one game, so you move on to the next one.
Howard, back right.
Howard Beck, Sports Illustrated. Steve, just picking up on Ohm's question, the record in game ones prior to this meant you guys were always in control early. How does it change things, do you think, whether it's game plan, attitude, mentality, whatever, playing from behind in a series like this in a way that you haven't before?
Well, it's different for sure. I mean, when you win game one at home, there's a sense of comfort, and you kind of have a feel for your opponent at that point and make your adjustments. And so it's a different feeling. Obviously, you go into game two with more of a sense of desperation. But that's all part of this stuff. We've been in this position before, and we've won series where we've lost the first game. We've won a road game, at least one road game, and I don't know how many consecutive series. So you always kind of assume you're going to have to win on the road to win a playoff series. So it's a different feeling, but it's still first 1 to 4.
On the left.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, you guys won the third quarter by 14. What are the things you want to take from that quarter? Obviously, you couldn't take into the fourth tonight, but what are the things you want to take from that quarter and move into the future games?
Yeah, I thought the third was great for us. We moved the ball. We got offensive rebounds. We shared it. We got some really good looks against their defense. Because we were the aggressor, we kind of tied the game together. Good defense led to good offense, and vice versa. And then in the fourth, that flipped. I thought we had some poor offensive possessions, and that led to some transition hoops for them, and that changed the game.